Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. We have grown ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not.
I usually stay out of these conversations, but with Caitlin Clark, I can't stay silent anymore.
Nobody expected this controversy to get even bigger, but now one of the biggest names in basketball is being pulled into the conversation. After Alyssa Thomas's controversial hit on Caitlin Clark ignited a storm across the sports world, fans immediately began asking one question: what does LeBron James think? The incident has divided the basketball community. Some believe it was simply a physical basketball play that crossed the line, while others argue it reflects a growing pattern of rough treatment toward one of the WNBA's biggest stars. The debate exploded across social media, with millions of fans, analysts, and former players weighing in from every angle. The WNBA later suspended Alyssa Thomas for one game following the incident, adding even more attention to the controversy. LeBron James has long been one of basketball's most influential voices. Whether it's speaking on player safety, protecting stars, or addressing major moments in the sport, his comments often dominate headlines. That's why fans have been watching closely to see whether he would weigh in on the Caitlin Clark controversy, or whether his silence says just as much. At the same time, emotions are running high throughout the basketball world. Supporters of Caitlin Clark argue that the league must do more to protect its marquee players, while others insist that physical defense has always been part of professional basketball. Even Clark herself has urged fans to avoid personal attacks and harassment directed at players involved in the incident, emphasizing that criticism should never turn into abuse. So what has LeBron actually said? Has he addressed the play directly, or are viral posts online exaggerating his involvement? That's where the story becomes far more interesting than the headline suggests. In today's video, we'll separate verified facts from internet rumors, break down everything surrounding Alyssa Thomas's hit on Caitlin Clark, examine what LeBron James has, and hasn't, publicly said, and explain why this moment has become one of the biggest talking points in basketball. Stay until the end, because not everything circulating online matches the confirmed facts, and the full picture may surprise you. He said that great athletes don't make excuses, they take responsibility, and let their achievements speak for themselves. He thinks that a player's lack of commitment to competition is shown when they try to explain away questionable behavior instead of facing it. So, the conversation went from basketball skills to being professional and polite. LeBron James also said that Caitlin Clark has a great basketball IQ, a wide shooting range, and the ability to help her teammates do better. These qualities have helped her become one of the sport's most promising young stars. He stressed, though, that protecting players and keeping basketball honest should always come first, because he has a lot of respect for the game. This young athlete is so good that she shouldn't worry about cheap shots or unnecessary rough play. Instead, she should focus on reaching her full basketball potential. LeBron James thinks that putting a great player ahead of hard work, skill, and planning shows where a competitive mindset falls short. When a person is in danger and is hit without reason, sportsmanship is greatly harmed. He thinks that in basketball, skill, focus, and execution should always be more important than questionable moves. Right away, those comments caused a huge debate in the basketball world. LeBron James also said that the way Caitlin Clark was treated physically was like the problems that many great players have had to deal with during their careers. He did say, though, that there is a big difference between challenging a basketball game physically and acting in a bad way. He praised Clark for being able to handle the stress of being one of the most famous women in basketball at such a young age. LeBron James said that the league risks sending the message that players want attention by getting into trouble instead of getting better at basketball until it makes actions against its best players illegal that aren't necessary or safe. He thinks that keeping great players and playing fair, competitive basketball are important for the league to keep growing. LeBron James even said that the league could send the wrong message to the next generation of players if it doesn't do enough to deal with these situations. He thinks that young players should watch the WNBA to learn about great skill, hard work, teamwork, and good sportsmanship, not questionable plays or pointless fights. Even with these problems, LeBron James's belief in Caitlin Clark's future was without a doubt the most important thing about his view. He told Clark that anyone who tries to scare her or stop her will only make her more determined to show off her skill, self-control, and basketball IQ, because hardship tends to make great players. LeBron James, talking about his time as a basketball superstar, said that great players have always had to deal with tough defenses and thorough testing. He did stress, though, that Clark has to deal with those problems while also dealing with the media attention and expectations that come with being one of the most famous women in basketball. LeBron James thinks that helping athletes like Clark means more than just cheering on one talented player. The main goal is to keep the sport's reputation. He says Clark has a lot of the things that make basketball special, like great court vision, great talent, a competitive spirit, and the power to inspire the next generation. Besides that, he said that the WNBA is at a turning point in its past and that how it handles this could have a long-lasting effect on its culture and reputation. They can do two things. Either they keep their lower-level players cheating to stay in the game, or they protect and promote their best players, letting stars like Caitlin Clark reach their full potential and make the league better as a whole. This is what LeBron James meant to say. The league's fate will depend on the choice it makes. That being said, this is the question everyone has. LeBron James said that the WNBA should protect Caitlin Clark. Will they do that, or will they keep letting players like Alyssa Thomas use bad behavior to hurt the league's reputation? Let's keep talking about it in the box below. What do you think about LeBron James' harsh criticism of what Alyssa Thomas did? Do you think his worries are fully true, or do you think he is being too sharp? Is it more important that you think the WNBA will eventually do more to protect its biggest star? I've read all of the comments, so please tell me what you think. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss an update if you want to see more study like this that cuts through the noise and looks at what's going on in the world of basketball. Everything in the basketball world is paying close attention to Caitlin Clark's problems in the WNBA because of what LeBron James said. As the story goes on, it gets harder and harder to ignore one thing. No longer can we talk about one game, one hard call, or one controversial event. It's about the future of women's basketball, the league's goals, and how its best players will be treated. What the public thinks about the league's best players, the future of women's basketball, and the standards the league wants to set are all at stake. In the general eye. Before she joined the WNBA, Caitlin Clark had to deal with a lot of expectations. Millions of fans watch every game she plays. Millions of fans love them. Every move she makes is looked at from every angle. Every success is praised, but every failure makes the news. That's what it means to be one of the most famous players in basketball today. At the same time, experienced players from all over the league are still competing at the highest level. They bring years of knowledge, determination, and pride to every game. The WNBA wants to make sure that rivalries don't lead to play that isn't necessary or safe. Fans love how intense it is. They like to compete very hard. They want to find real great basketball players. Also, they say that every player on the court should be treated the same, consistently, and with care. One reason why LeBron James's comments have caused so much trouble is this. LeBron James, who is one of the best basketball players ever, knows what it's like to play against the toughest defense and be under constant pressure. His message was more than just being tough. It was about keeping the game fair and making sure that basketball skill, not controversy, stays the major focus. There is no doubt that LeBron James's comments have caused a lot of discussion, whether people agree with him or think he is exaggerating the issue. Fans, experts, former athletes, and people in the media are still arguing about a very important topic. Fans, experts, former athletes, and people in the media. What should happen when the most famous players in the league are being hit more and more hard? Should the people in charge of the league do more to make sure players are safe and the game stays competitive? Bad plays should get harsher fines from the league. Is this just how things work in professional basketball? It looks like everyone has a clear opinion, and those opinions are mixed. But one thing is for sure, Caitlin Clark hasn't let controversy, public criticism, or physical defense plan her career. She has instead kept her attention on basketball. She keeps competing at the top level, which is why many people see her as the future of the sport. One big reason why basketball fans all over the world still respect and back her is that she didn't give up. Fans of basketball all over the world admire how hard she works. In the meantime, the WNBA is getting more attention than ever before. Every day, more and more people are talking about basketball on social media, TV ratings keep going up, and a lot of new fans are discovering women's basketball for the first time. Not only do these kinds of events change how people think about a certain player or team, but they also change how people think about the NBA as a whole. As the season goes on, each game will become more significant. And more people will be watching Caitlin Clark's games than before. After LeBron James said something, there was a debate that made more people aware of the league and its famous players. Every disputed play will be looked at. Every call by the refs will be argued, and each game will be a new part of one of the most talked about WNBA seasons ever. Now you've asked the most important question. Do you think that LeBron James's comments accurately describe how things are in the game right now? Do you think that the WNBA protects its players in the right way while keeping the sport's intensity and violence? What do you think will happen to Alyssa Thomas, Caitlin Clark, and the future of the league because of this? I really want to know what people all over the world who like basketball are thinking. So, please share your thoughts in the space below. The interesting thing about this community is that people argue carefully, so your point of view might even be used in future videos. Thanks for reading. If you want more in-depth basketball analysis, special updates, and the latest news on the WNBA, NBA legends, and Caitlin Clark, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a post. There are new records being set every night in basketball. Thanks a lot for watching and your really great support. Take care until then. Things are just beginning in the story. You shouldn't miss the next part because it might be even more important. Sign up, turn on all of the alerts, and keep coming back for the latest news and in-depth sports coverage. Please let us know what you think in the comments. Make sure you don't miss anything by subscribing and turning on all alerts. When you click on the movie, we'll see you in the next one.